Good morning everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, my name's Tim, this is Vehicle Evolution, and today we are going to put those onto that. Should give us about 1.5 inches drop in the front, about 1.25 inches to 1.5 inches drop in the back. Should tighten up that wheel gap quite a bit. If you're wondering where this came from, check out the video linked above, because it happened when I did my exhaust. But for now, let's get started on this lowering. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is jack this bad boy up, get the tire removed, and take off the front strut tower. If you think that you're going to go at a project like this and not have spring clamps, think again. So make sure you have a set of spring compressors. These things off Amazon are like 25 bucks. So it's well worth the investment to be able to do this properly and to keep you from getting hurt. So first, we're going to take the wheel off. Well, first we're going to jack it up, then we're going to take the wheel off and get this front tower removed. Alright, so we've got to remove this bolt. We need to remove this that holds the brake line in, and then we've got this bolt and this bolt, and then we'll go up to the top and remove the top part of the shock tower, and that should pull it out. The hardest part of this whole job, I think, is going to be really changing the spring itself out. Okay, so something that you're going to want to do is make sure that you use your jack to lift this up to take pressure off of this stabilizer arm. Otherwise, once you start taking this off, especially once you start taking off the actual strut, this is going to bend down. It's going to be hard to pull it out, and you're going to end up screwing up your threads. So keep support on your front wheel, the underside with the jack, and you will be in good shape. And we're going to take these 3 bolts off, and the shock tower will come right out. And there we have our stock shock tower. You go without saying that you do not ever undo that bolt unless you've got tension on these springs, because otherwise you're in for a world of hurt. These things are under a lot of pressure, so that's why we have our spring clamps. And we're going to clamp it, and then we can undo that, and then we can put on the new spring. These clamps are pretty simple. You just clamp in, have a little retainer pin that keeps anything from backing out, and then all you do, tighten it down. Now we can take this off. whole assembly comes off. And off comes the spring. Alright, so one of the things I've read with lowering springs is generally the stock strut assembly needs to be replaced. We're not going to do that yet. We're probably not going to do it at all, because like I said, we're going to use these for a while and then we're going to get coilovers. So all we got to do is put this one in place, and since it's considerably shorter, than the stock one, this actually doesn't need to be compressed. Here we have it. Everything else is just doing it all in reverse. I'll put it back in. Alright, so now the front is done. Now it's time to do the back. These should be a little bit easier because you don't have any struts to have to actually take out. The spring is in there against the support arm, so these should be a lot easier to do. Alright, so the back is pretty simple, pretty straightforward. So there's our spring that we're going to replace. We need to take off this nut here, and we need to remove these two bolts. And then once we pull those bolts off, we'll be able to lower this arm, pop the spring out, put a new spring in. Alright, so now we're actually going to put this back in here, and with that out of the way, we're going to put this one back in there. I'll show you why in a second. Voila, there we go. So now all we have to do, take the rubber bushing off there and the rubber piece off here, put it on the new spring and put it back in. We're actually putting this one in first, followed by that one back there, and then this one here. So that's the installation of the Ark GT-F lowering springs. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I'll do a follow-up video probably in the next couple weeks once I've had a chance to actually drive the car a bit with the springs on it and let you know what I think of them. First impressions of it, just doing some quick driving around, they're not bad. I mean, they're I wouldn't say that they're much stiffer than the stock springs that are on this car. Maybe a little bit. Definitely lower center of gravity helps with cornering, but I'll do a more in-depth review of them a little while later and let you know really what I think about them. So if you like the video, please give it a big thumbs up. If you're stopping in for the first time, please subscribe. But that's all for me for now, guys. Until next time, take it easy.